So last time you applied for a loan, a mortgage, and you're going to buy a home or refi, and you looked at the closing costs and you said, what in the hell? $100+ for a friggin' credit report? And I remember when I got in this business, I think credit reports were like $20, $25. Then they went up to 30, then went to 40, then they went to 50, then 60, and all of a sudden they just jacked up. And everybody's wondering what in the world is going on here, right? Like, how in the world can credit reports be this expensive? The government doesn't control them. Obviously, they're controlled by your credit report companies, agencies, and they're honestly, yeah, I feel like they're gouging. It's absolutely ridiculous. When you pull it, all of a sudden, you get 50 calls, 100 calls, then they sell it to companies. I mean, these credit report company agencies are making money. And then when you have to wrap a rescore because you had a credit card late or something else, then they gouge on that. It's honestly absolutely insane. So Bill Pulte, that is, this has been going on. Obviously, our industry is recognizing it. It seems like these companies have not much competition. And obviously, I think this is going to be a short-lived thing because I think we're going to start seeing this change. Because honestly, remember, when it comes to the government, Fannie, Freddie, FHFA, things like that, they are trying to make homeownership affordable. So anything that costs a lot of money, like that much money to do credit, it's absolutely insane. And the fact that they can sell your information, you get all these calls, and I get it. It's the most frustrating, annoying thing on the planet. So what is Bill Pulte doing about it? He's recognizing it. Look, they don't control this stuff, but obviously it's on his radar. And Bill Pulte, if you didn't know, he's in charge of FHFA. FHFA, that's Fannie and Freddie. He's the new guy in there. His grandpa was a house builder, so the family's, big prominent house builder, and so he understands building, he understands how to run a company. So he's coming in here and just getting this place in order and shaping it up. So one of the things he's kind of focusing on is obviously to make things more affordable, looking around of what's price gouging, what's expensive, how do we get rid of costs, how do we lower costs and make it more affordable? Because honestly, when you go to refi or buy, sometimes you're like, do I need to have all these expenses and stuff like this? Because I get it. Is it excessive? And especially in the world of AI and all the data we have, we're like, really, why do we have to, isn't there an easier way to pull the credit? Does it really have to cost this much? Just like when you have to get in your appraisal, I understand there's title, there's escrow fees, there's lender fees and all this. And obviously there are people actually working on your file that have to get paid. And there's actually, systems in the background. It's like, does it really cost that much to get my data? Or am I just getting gouged? It seems like we're just getting gouged. So what can Bill do? What is he talking about doing? I think we've been taught that's an industry. And look, I don't get it. You could have an 800 credit score. All of a sudden, somebody misses a $20 payment on Macy's, and all of a sudden your score goes down to 700, and you're a bad borrower because one little mistake, but you've never missed a payment in 40 years. I think credit reports are absolute garbage, most of them, because of that reason. I think we should have data. We should have AI. When they give you a score, it's not just based on what's happening today. It's based on what happened over the last 40 years. Look, people get into certain situations, things happen, things get on your credit, there's disputes, and then there's nothing you can do. You could be disputing a claim or disputing something, and they whack your credit, and there's nothing you can do about it, screw you over, rather than, hey, you cannot whack their credit until this happens. So I think we need some more transparency, and we need to change some things. So Bill Pulte, he's saying is, I can't control prices. I don't control prices, but what I can do is control what data we use, how we look at the data, and is there a better and more simpler and more cost-effective way to look at credit moving forward. So right now, there's two kind of credit pulls you see out in the market. There's a hard pull, which means we pull the score, and that's when you're going to get all those annoying calls. Obviously, you can do sign up, and I always recommend to opt out. I think it's just type in opt out, and I think it's optoutscreen.com or something, and you can go in there, type your information, and then I think in 5 days you can't call you. So I recommend that for everybody, so you don't get these annoying calls. And they're annoying, trust me. Literally from 50 to 100. So if you have a small business, if you're in sales, something you have to pick up your phone, you are going to get pissed off. You're going to hate your life. So do that. Number two, there's a thing called saw pull. We pull it, we get the score, we get your information, but nobody gets triggered that you got a saw pull. But the problem is Fannie, Freddie, FHA, and all these lenders, they don't want that because it's not a true hard pull. So Fannie and Freddie is looking into that option. Bill is saying, well, could we use a soft pull? Why aren't we using it? Look into that data. And I think when it comes out of technology and AI, we're going to get over this fraud, and we're going to cut this cost pretty quickly. And maybe we'll just make the credit companies have to just lower their prices because the demand just will not be there with all these credit pulls. The other thing they're going to look at is obviously there's different scorecards they have, and they're looking at scorecard. The Vantage score is the 4.0. It's just a way that Fannie and Freddie look at stuff. So they're, like I said, they're going to start looking at data, looking at it like, know, how do you pay your rent? How do you pay your utilities and things like that that might not be on your credit? So they're going to keep looking at alternative ways, alternative credit solutions to see if they can get outside this tri-merge to get the cost down. Another thing could be like a bulk. So if a company or the brokerage industry or a big company, a big lender is pulling massive credit reports, well, why can't we give them a bulk trying program, access to credit, make it a lot more cheaper, and that gets passed on to loan officers, then gets passed on to the clients ultimately, so make it more effective, more efficient, and cheaper. But I think in the end of the day, what's really going to happen here is she's going to do all these technology things, but just like everything else in this administration, they are going to bring this glaring light and they're going to make it apparent, talk about it all the time, put it out there on the news, talk about how these companies are gouging and this and that, and maybe they'll lower their prices, come to the table with them, ask them why they have to charge so much money. Are they price gouging? But look, at the end of the day, as we move forward in the world of technology, I think things with the process of getting a mortgage are only going to get easier and cheaper. It just takes time to get to that. So paying things like over $100 for a credit report is absolutely insane and ridiculous. I'm not sure how it got more expensive to me. I thought data collection was even easier, faster, and more affordable these days than it was years ago. So I just think companies are taking advantage of. So yes, I am glad we have somebody at the helm of Fannie and Freddie. Not everything we might agree with him, but look, if we can cut costs for anybody that's looking to refi or buy, why not? It's absolutely ridiculous that somebody's paying $100+ for a credit report. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Love to hear back from you. If I can help you out, always reach out to me. And if you didn't remember, I've been doing this for 20 years, helped over 5,000 clients, funded $1 billion of loans, and I am always here to help you. And I shoot content like this because honestly, I'm passionate about it and I want to educate you and help you, because a lot of this stuff that people don't know what's going on out there, I like to break down and give it to you so it can help you. And maybe you can pass this on to a friend, family member, or if you're in the biz, pass it on to some clients or some other people in the business. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be in touch.